Hello, it's
Hi.
Tabitha Fro.
And Brit,
Guess what, Britt?
what's up?
Spring has sprung.
Heavily. Yeah.
We are out here.
In these streets, in these gardens, in these workout classes, getting to that life. Yeah, spring is
Tybo, you too young for that.
not typo. Oh my God. That was like the 90s.
Yes.
Right. I remember typo. Oh, that was cool.
Oh, Billy Blanks.
Right.
Good
right,
times.
Okay.
There is a time for everything, a season for every activity under the heavens, a time to be born and a time to die, a time to plant and a time to uproot.
Very good.
That means so much to me.
I know, right? Yeah, so, me and Tabitha Fro have just been talking about all things life and moving and shaking, and springtime is so vital. We thought about the fact that we're in spring, which is very representative of, newness, growth, blooming, flowers are blooming, birth, rebirth, animals are being born. That normally, kind of stay in the shell and during the winter times and stuff, they come out in the
Dormant.
springtime. So things come out, world reviving and being revigorating around this time. So we just wanted to hit on today some points about knowing your season. So, as the earth naturally has its four seasons, spring, summer, fall, winter. We're currently in spring. So what are you doing right now? What season is this for you as it relates to spring? So, Mom, what you have going on this springtime? What does it mean for you right now?
It means so much. I mean, for number one, it means getting out of the house and having much more daylight time.
Yeah.
I love that. Yes.
Yes, play outside.
And as you have seen our channel, we do have our garden growing, so that probably is the best thing that happens during spring for me. Especially in these past 2 years, I found it to be very relaxing. I never knew how much just working in a garden would give you that zen moment where you just forget about everything that's going on in the world and just worry about these plants growing.
Right here. That's right. It's so awesome.
And
it's
you know
cool
what
because-
else is amazing about that? I'm sorry.
Oh, you're
Is to see the transformation of the plant from going out and seeing it in the garden that morning. And you can go back in the afternoon and that plant looks totally different. That's also the magic of how we work. In the morning, you may feel kind of blah, but by afternoon, woo-hoo-hoo!
It's popping. That's so real. I was thinking about that. As you said, I said things can change in a matter of hours, minutes, seconds, man. So yeah, that's dope. So that's cool. So this year, y'all, I actually got out there for a little hour or two and helped Mom and her neighbor with, Tabitha Fro and her neighbor with their gardening. I did a little tilling. That's all I did, and pulled up the earth a little bit, pulled up the roots and stuff. It was pretty fun and cool. So yeah, I think this year for me is that year too of tapping into the gardening. That's something I really want to learn how to do. And it, like you said, it's soothing and it's so cool. So anyway, I won't go on and on about that, but that's super cool.
As we're talking about the garden, real talk, folks need to start learning how to grow their own food because it's getting crazy out here.
Part. Agreed.
We're talking about spring, but with talking about spring and having that garden and seeing these things go from the ground and grow, this is also the way we want our lives to be. You want to grow from being that little seed in the ground and grow to be something so much better. During this series, we will talk about a time to live and a time to die. We will talk about the season to when you are supposed to hold on and when is it time to let go. And rest, the other thing that is so important. Everybody is talking about grind, 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 grind. But when do you take time to rest? What you got?
Forms of rest. Oh, honey. My personal one is an afternoon nap. Laying out on the
Loves
sofa,
them
watching
naps.
a good movie. Love some naps. Now, I don't get to take many of them. I'm serious about my sleep, though. Don't get me wrong. But when I can grab a good nap in the afternoon or just lay out on the sofa, you can watch a movie or something, and I might, drift off like that. Like, that's rest to me. Or sitting, meditating, chilling, just being quiet for a minute. You know what I'm saying? Even if it's on the porch, just being quiet. Those are forms of rest to me, so that your thoughts can come back together and you can kind of re-energize, reset. So,
And you know what I think is funny? Sometimes when I'm sitting and I have those moments where I'm just having my thoughts to myself, I'm like, ooh, that's a good thought. Girl, once I'm off that porch, those thoughts are gone. So write them down.
you have to write them down, and that's why I keep my phone with me. I know a lot of times we keep our phones on us just because we're used to scrolling and doing all these other things, but I like to keep it with me to write things down that come to me, or an actual pen and paper too is really still very good and a good way to manifest things. So yeah, you got to write those thoughts down, because during those times of rest, when you're not doing nothing and you're just sitting and thinking, I feel like that's when the best thoughts come to you, or those what they call uploads or downloads sometimes in the spiritual world come to you of things that you should be doing that are specifically for you. So I love the idea and talk about seasons, because we do different things according to different seasons. So
One thing I want to add is my very best friend. Best friend. You don't gain many friends as you get older. You probably more acquaintances, but this person is like the best friend in my life. And how we became best friends was I saw something, or I said something to her that made her say, you know what, you're right about that. And that was, in whatever season it is, you should constantly reevaluate yourself and see what it is that you need to do that's better, that's different, to move forward. So no matter what season it is, if God has shown you that this is what you're supposed to do, accept that and evaluate yourself. Be ready to walk in that season.
Sure. Yeah. And I like the point you made about the friendship, because a lot of times, sometimes it's seasons for people too, you know what I'm saying, in your life and in your space, depending on where you're at, what you're working on. Everybody can't be in the mix all the time. And that's something I've been learning, and I love that and understanding it about life, because that's kind of some control you have within what's going on with you, keeping your peace or not, whatever, you feel me? So being able to be in your world and be in your mix by knowing what your season is an awesome thing.
And sometimes we feel guilty when you have a friend and they have been friends with you for a long time. You feel kind of guilty that, I don't talk to them that much, or you just kind of drifted apart. To what you're saying about those friendships, that was there for a reason and a season.
Sure.
So now it's done. So you shouldn't feel so guilty, because there are a lot of people that you start the journey with. I mean, just think about elementary school, high school, middle school. You hardly ever talk to those people anymore. Yeah, even college. Yeah. Sometimes you worked with people and you're like, I'll never stop talking to that person. Girl, you get to that next job, you're just like, Karen, who?
Exactly. And the cool thing is, and I brought some great
girl.
Right. I have some friends now, people I consider friends that I did meet at the workplace, but you don't take everybody with you. Boy, you don't take everybody with you.
Oh my Goodness.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. And some people that I didn't bring with me, when I think about it in hindsight, I'm like, yeah, they don't need to be in this space right here anyway. So that's good.
Dream stealers. Dream crushers.
Dream stealers. Give me that dream.
I'm crush it. Crush it right down here.
Exactly.
But what do we have for a what y'all out here doing moment?
So what y'all out here doing moment, tell us about a time where it might have been something you had on your plate or on your mind that you wanted to do or accomplish, but maybe things were shaping up to show this isn't the season for it. Not that it can't happen, but this isn't the season. Do you have any type of experiences or stories of something that happened to you, let you know to wait?
Britt, I'm 52 years old. You know I got plenty.
Yes.
I got
Give us a
these
good
many.
one. Give us a good one for Atlanta now.
Okay, as it relates to business-wise, I came up with this great idea pre-COVID. Had even bought all the stuff, had gone over to my aunt's house so she could help me create this design that I had in my head for a long time. She pulled it together for me, taught me how to sew within 2 hours. And then I continued to call her to learn how to do different things because she's a seamstress. That was her profession. I'm out, I'm hopping, I'm ready to go. And for some reason, I have not done it. I have not done it. I don't know if it's just hasn't been my season or fear.
That's real too. That's real.
I know the Bible tells us that we should not fear anything, but for some reason, I just have this small fear about that. So at the precise time when it should be done, I will unleash the Kraken.
Yeah, I agree with you. Real quick, just sometimes it's like, is it fear or is it? Because I know sometimes we have like, it has to be the perfect time, the right time. Well, season is time too, right? So I feel like when it's time, as a good friend of mine always says, it's going to happen. It just has to, you know, it is. But regardless, if it's going to get done, that fear has to go away in some extent, you know. So, or you just push through it. But that's a good point that you made. Yeah, it could just be, you know, timing.
Yeah. And you should push through it.
For sure.
Because, as I said, God has given us the spirit to triumph and not to fear. So I'm still working through that.
Good. It's developing.
And I will. Yes.
Yes.
And it will come out very, very soon.
Very.
Okay, so I think with that, we will rest on this one because the other ones that are coming up, you do not want to miss.
Yeah.
We're going to do a season of summer.
Yes. And it's going to be extra because I feel like the summertime is when our hot girls come out for the hot weather and knowing the season of your hot girl and how to exercise her and all that good stuff. So yeah, I can't wait for that discussion.
Juicy.
Very.
Thank you for joining us. Don't forget to like,
subscribe, and share.
tell other people. Share it. Share it. Share the
Share the
love.
word. Yes.
Till next time. Bye-bye.
See y'all.